morning to one and all. This is Dr. P. Lavanya, working as an associate professor in Aeronautical Engineering, Dundigal. So today I want to give you the introduction to the managerial economics, which is one of a subject or importance for the MBA people. So first we want to see what is an economics. So commonly we used to listen the words people saying that economics, economical things, or what is the country's economy. So first we should see that what is an economics. So economics, it is in a regular study or the regular activity how human beings will satisfy their regular needs and wants. Means economics is in a science where the individual or the social behavior of a person or maybe any organization who wants to satisfy their wants within a scarce resources. Means as we know, maybe in the society or maybe any organization or an individual person, the resources what we use are very very scarce. We don't have a lot of resources. But as a human beings, we are having a lot of wants or the lot of things to be done with only that scarce resources. So that's why economics tells us how to utilize those resources in order to get a maximum satisfaction for our wants. So this is in a daily life, I think, which we come across saying the economics is or economical activity is an important for the human beings. So first we'll see what is this economics means. It's a study says that how people will use the resources. So what are the resources that the people are getting? So how we want to choose the resources. This is study tells that we choose. So how we'll choose the resources to get optimum satisfaction. Means as we have been said that the resources what we are getting or what we utilize will be very very limited, but the human beings where we can say like wants will occur time to time and which cannot be or in a limited nature. So that's why economics, it's a study says that how the people will utilize the resources. So when they are utilizing or when they are making these resources, they has to choose which resource is the best for them to use or which the resources will come and gives him a maximum satisfaction. So mainly we can say that people regular utilization or choosing of their resources what they use in the organizations or maybe in the daily pattern. And at the same way when I says like it is a resources, so what sort of resources? The resources includes like time, machinery, maybe money, materials, and talent of the people, that is HRM, human resources. Along with that we have the resources for any production activity or maybe the regular organization and firm will have like land, buildings, equipments and other tools on the other hand. So here the people will use the resources which are related to the time. Means many things was included in the resources. We can't say only one is the resources. Based upon the activity what the human beings will conduct, based on that will conclude as it is a resources. Some people the time become as a resources, some ways the money is important, some material will be important, some may be tools, equipments, technology. So there are the many types of resources where the human beings want to utilize. So here this economics also gives us the knowledge of how to combine. So means the utilization of all the resources at a time is not possible. So for us, which resources required that we want to combine in order to create or to get some useful goods and services. In the production process, maybe we require land or equipment, buildings. So with that, we take into the consideration materials, raw materials are required to produce any sort of the goods. With that raw materials, we has to go for machinery utilization. And after the machinery utilization, the output will come outside of the factory. So here the resources in the sense we have a different resources. So based upon the knowledge, how to combine for what sort of goods or the services we want to produce. So based upon that, we go for the combination of these resources in order to give a useful product, goods, or maybe the services. So this economics, we can say like it's a social science. So social science means it studies the regular activities of the human beings, social items which come across, like the people who are living. So they has to satisfy their daily requirements or the basic needs of the human beings. The basic needs comes as like food, shelter, and a clothing. So these are the things what is socially a human being will want to satisfy. So what are the resources available? So based upon that, what sort of satisfaction he was getting. So it deals with any human beings, the social activities, societal movement, or how one and another will be helping in the society, the individuals, goods, production, what is going on in the society will comes under the economics. So that's why we says economics as a social science which gives or the studies relating to the production, distribution, and the consumption of the goods and services. Means the socially the how human beings will go for studying of the production activity. So what is required to produce the goods and services. After production, the goods has to be distributed to the wholesalers, retailers, and in the markets. So from these distribution network, the final consumers will consume the goods and services. So with these, the consumption of the goods will give the maximum satisfaction. So it's in a normal activities. That's why we'll call economics as a societal study or the social science. But it deals, this economics is deals with all the human beings or the social sciences. Means it's a vast study. We can't say that economics is only related to the individual persons or only related to the production or related to the maybe of distribution. It relates to all the factors. That's why these social science will call it as economics as a queen of social science. So as we can say like a queen of social science, it is covering the all the scopes, maybe from the starting of the goods production sense to the how the national income means the GDP, gross domestic product, was achieved, along with what is the national growth or economical progress of the country. Means starting point of an individual, how he acquire his maximum needs to goes with production, consumption, distribution of the goods and services, and at the same way transfer of the wealth, about their savings, national income, and how the national economical progress will be takes place with the help of GDP and economic growth. So the scope consisting of all the activities, starting steps to the ending steps for the national level. So we'll call this economics as a queen of the social sciences. So we can come across that how these economics is derived. Once we say it's a social science and also the queen of social science, then we'll say like how it was derived. So economics is derived from the Greek word, so which it is having that okios and norms. So it is consisting of two parts, that is ekros and norms, what we'll call like okios and norms. So in the Greek, okios means house and normos means management. So we can say like from the Greek word we derived the economical sense, that is okios, that is household, of normos means management. So an individual house management is the meaning what the Greeks has been derived for the word of economics. So with these only, Aristotle has been the Greek scientist or philosopher, has been derived the economics, saying that that is the science of household management. So where he derives or the where he says that it's a household management based upon the derivation or the meaning what the economics is having in the Greek. And at the same way, these economics we can say it's a study how people produce and spend their income. Means a household management, so individual persons or the people, how they manage their home or the house, means what are the ways or the activities how they derive the income, maybe through production of the goods or maybe any other business activities. Along with that, after earning their particular income, how they are spending that income. So these total activities tells that it is a study how people will know about the product produce and also spend the income. And along with that, we can say that what's an economic is exactly means. Means now we have seen that what is how the people require economics and what is the derivation to derive the economics, and we have said it is as a social sciences. So what's an economics? So economics, it studies about how people will gather their income or how they get the income and how they spend the money. So while they are going for gathering the income or maybe having how to get an income, so they has to study that economics. It says about the it is a study of scarcity. Means when I want to earn the income or maybe what are the resources through utilization of the certain resources. So we cannot find that all are plentifully available. So no resources is plenty on this earth or for the human beings. So all resources must be utilized in a more effective. Why? Because all availability is very very less. Maybe number of things any resource could be utilized. So that's why now all the resources are very having scarcity. And at the same way, how that resources to be utilized means the best way or not wasting of the resources. The economics will tell us the utilization of without wasting or gives an effective utilization of the resources. And at the same way, it responds to the incentives, means what are the ways we are getting the additional incomes or the incentives bonus or the study of decision making. Means the resources are the scarce and utilization should be done in an effective manner, and we requires or our wants are very very unlimited. So based upon these three activities, what sort of decision to be made will be provided by the studying of economics. And we can say like it's not in a simple subject or the scope, it is a very very less. It is in a vast scope where it is having a lot of things, maybe from individual perspective to the national and international level. So that's why we have a lot of definitions came over the period of the time, and there are meaning for these definitions will also be changed from time to time. So we'll see that due to their scope is vastness and the meanings are changing for time to time. So we'll see the evolutionary pattern of the economics through its definitions. The first one is this is the science of wealth. So where we can say like economics, it includes the nature and the causes of the wealth and the creation of the wealth by the individuals and nations. Firstly, we have the definition saying that the economics includes the nature, means naturally available resources, how those are causing or that nature will provide us the wealth, and how individual will try to create the wealth, means through production of the goods and services. So basically we'll say it's a where economics deals with the production of goods or the creation of the wealth in the society. And next, another definition or the meaning comes like economics is a science of welfare. So welfare in the sense that is the scholars or the people feel that economic will address the welfare of the society. Welfare says that how people are happy or best satisfying their needs and wants will comes as the welfare of the society. So through the economics only, the wealth was divided in the society in between the richer and the poor. Means the money earning capacity may be divided in the form of welfare by basically telling that the richest and the poorest of the society. Maybe the richest people starts the production and providing the employment to the poorest people. In such a way, the total wealth in the society will be distributed to the each and every sector people. And then the next meaning we can say like that economics is it's a science of scarcity and also the choice. Here the scarcity in the sense as the resources we know that available in the society or maybe for the individuals are only limited means scarce. But we have a different goals and different alternatives where we can utilize these resources. But with the limited resources we want to satisfy our goals or the alternatives. So that's why sometimes we can call it like it's in a science of scarcity and also the choice. And another meaning and the definition of these economics is it is also says like a science of growth and development. So the economics must distributes its resources across the numerous alternatives. As we know, scarce and choosing. So one resources is there. We'll choose the resources for the best way or the best means, saying that to satisfy our needs. So we have a number of alternatives to satisfy our needs and a number of ways how that resources could be utilized. So assuming the effective utilization and figures out to grow the future economic development means the resources available or scarce will be best utilized by the individuals, maybe firms or maybe through the nation. So which gives to grow our total economy means the societal development or maybe individual development will enhance the organizational development which alternative or which primarily enhance the economic development of a nation maybe at a national level and also the international level. So sometimes we can say like meaning this economics is contributing for the total growth and development. And when we go as a very vast and the deeper, we can say this economics is also a science of sustainability development. Sustainable development means where the economics will talks about the welfare of the future generation. Means we doesn't feel that economics doesn't feel only today's consumption, today's utilization of the resources, and we should also think about what about the future generations. If we use the resources in a very scarce manner or maybe effectively the resources are utilized, then we can give contribution to our future generations. So that's why these economics is also deals with sustainability, that is the protection or sustaining the natural environment or protection of the environment. So it is one of the moral obligation or ethical obligations for each and every human beings as our resources are limited and that limited resources must and should be used wisely. Means these resources has to be effectively utilized in order to secure the well-being of the future generations. Means without going for wastage of the resources or maybe without going for unnecessary utilization or unnecessary spoiling of a natural environment, we has to effectively utilize the resources. So in this way, we can see here the meaning of the economics may be given through passing of the generation from time to time. So different types of meanings and the definitions has been evolved. So maybe starting from individual science to the sustainability or the future growth of the economics was given in the over purview of the meaning of economics. And the next will comes to the some of the definitions relating to the economics. So this economics we can say like it is in a practical science of production and distribution of the wealth which was given by the J.S. Mill. So he is in one of the economists who says that practically how goods and services are produced and how that produced goods are distributed in the society is clearly enumerated in the economics. And at the same way, this economics is also having the management economics, which we'll call like a managerial economics, which is having integration of economics theory with the business practices for the purpose of facilitating the decision making and forward planning by the management. So which was given by the Spencer and Seigelman, says that it's an integrating all economic theoretical sense, the production activity, distribution and the transfer of the wealth. So in these production activity, what is the purpose of facilitating the decision making? Means how the individual people will decide how to utilization of the goods and services in the form of production, and effective utilization we should has to go for the decision and helps for the forward planning for the management. And we can enumerate like another definition saying that this economics is application of economical theory and methodologies to the business administration process. So as we can say that this economics is also provides us how the economical theory means application, how the economical resources, tools, techniques and various process of the economics was applied in an organization, and methodology how the business will utilizing these economical theory and practices, which was given by E.F. Brigham. So these are the some of the definitions where we'll come across the economics, and this is a small introduction of the nature or the traditional economics. So in this concept, we come across what is a business or managerial economics. So above definitions also we have seen that economics is a science which will helps in a decision making. Yes. So it's help us to decide the things. So what are the things which will helps in the decision making of an organization, maybe at a top level, middle level or lower level, or what sort of decision does an organization requires to take in order to utilize the scarce resources into an limited to its unlimited wants and best utilization process. So here managerial economics, it's related to the organization or business economics, how effectively the resources in the organization will be utilized, and these effectiveness will give through decision making process. So this managerial economics is first observed by the economical scientist by George Dean in 1951. He is one of the famous economists, and he has been gained popularity in US by publication of his book called as Managerial Economics. Means how the methods, techniques which are utilized in the traditional economics was useful to take the decisions relating to a firm or organization was given in the book called as Managerial Economics by George Dean. So he gained a very much popularity, and organizations and the firms are much fascinated the way how he proposed or how he applied the economics in managerial decision making. So he is the, we can say like he is the person who has been given a insight of the managerial economics through his narrations or the book called as Managerial Economics. So which was published in 1951. So in this managerial economics, he refers that firm's decision making process, means how any organization or any of the organizations utilizes his scarce resources for unlimited wants. So where to decide how much resources to be utilized and what pattern and which best process such that elimination of the waste could be there. So this has to be done by taking the organizational decision. So in these economics, he has given the process of taking decisions through various steps and the utilization in an effective manner and effective decision making process. And it also has been interpreted of economics of management. So management, it's in a science, as we know, it's in a science or maybe science and art where the things is done with others or the other people. So how these people or the managers will manage with the help of economics. So integrated the economics concept, how the management is following and how effectively the management can utilize the economical concept is also interpreted in his book by Geol Don. And at the same way, he says that it is not only related to the management, it is called as an industrial economics. Means how the industrial people in the process of production and production of different variety of the goods, maybe from the raw materials to the final finished product. So what are the process or the best utilization of the resources could be done with the help of the economics only. So that's why the economic concepts will be utilized in case of industry. So we'll call it as an industrial economics, and the economics is the best way where we can identify and integrate the profit motive of the organization. The best and effective utilization involves the elimination of the waste and gives the business goals to be satisfied. So that's why we'll call it like it is also called as that managerial economics as industrial economics and also the business economics. Next, and his definition, this Geol Dean observes that managerial economics shows how economic analysis could be used in formulating of policies. So whatever he want to say, relating it is used in the business, it is used in the industrial purpose or maybe in the pattern of organizational production was, he want to show that economical analysis. So economical scarce resources has to be matched with the unlimited wants and effective utilization of these scarce resources. All we'll do through analysis of the economically means monetarily. So money orientedly we want to see that limited resources to be utilized. So these economical analyses will help in decision making through formulation of policies. So by these economics only or managerial economics only, we are able to give the formulating of policies, that is providing the different types of procedures and the policies what organization has to be achieved. So this is observations which was given by the Geol Dean. And we can give the another definitions or the importance like it was given in the words of Papas and Hershey's. He is also one of the economists. So according to him, managerial economics is an applies the economic theories. So he want to say that economical theories, there are the different types, that is production theory, distribution theory, wage and labor networks. So different types of economic theories where it was having the procedures and the policies and the methods to be followed. So that's why how these theories was applied and the methods of business administrative and decision making. Means these economics will useful with the help of the theories and methods effectively in the day-to-day activities or the decision-making pattern of the organizations. So why it is means required as it uses the tools and techniques of economical analysis to solve the managerial problems. So here they want to use maybe these managerial economics, the theories and the methods which helps in the decision making will uses the different types of tools and techniques, means various statistical tools will use and decision making techniques we also use in order to solve the business or managerial problems. Means with the help of these techniques, how to utilize the resources, scarcity of the resources to be overcome, maybe cost minimization or decreasing of the cost. It can be done through elimination of the waste or minimization of the different types of unnecessary expenses. So like this means different problems which was faced in the organization or management can be solved through these managerial concept. And at the same way, this managerial economic concept will also links the managerial economics with decision sciences. Means there are the different methods and the techniques how a management or the top people will take the decisions. Maybe like accounting, by analyzing the financial position through the different statements, which we'll call like profit and loss account, financial profit and loss account, and balance sheet. So we can say that what organization is achieving profit or loss. So what is the financial status? It is good or bad. So we, based upon the statement, the top management will take the decision, that is accounting. It is also one of the science which was utilized in the having a near interference to the managerial economics. Means the traditional economics will also links with a different decision making sciences, which will help us to take the decisions within the organization, such that those decisions will fulfill the goals of the organization. So in this enumerating or providing the definitions relating to the Papas and Hershey's, where he want to say that the management theories, methods which helps in the decision making, and various techniques used in order to solve the managerial problems, and it is also utilize the other sciences like accounting, statistics, and other methods to go for a perfect or a good decision making. Yes. So, these are the above definitions or the meanings what we want to provide relating to the managerial economics, which tells us as a decision making economics. So, with this we have the concept saying that what these totally managerial economics want to relay. So, for every organization, as we know that production, distribution, and profit earning is an important activities or the important things to be considered. So for that, as we know that we have the resources are very limited, maybe external, internal. Maybe when you take a point of view of any organization, the main important resource to form or a frame an organization will call like capital. So money. So money is very much important in order to start any sort of organization. But it is the scarce thing where we should identify or where we should has to analyze. But the things or the activities what we want to perform in the organization were unlimited. Like the human beings unlimited and resources are scarce. At the same way, in the firm or organization also, the resources like capital, maybe material, man and other are very limited. But what we want to do, that to be utilized in the different production pattern, where the utilization means want and a vast things, means unlimited wants or unlimited methods or there or the procedures where we can utilize these resources. So that's why here the managerial concepts economics also states relating to the firm's scarce resources which to be contributed towards the unlimited wants. So when I want to get an effective utilization of these scarce or unlimited wants, then I has to go for an question that what are the different alternatives, means methods to use. Maybe one resources is there, so where we can utilize maybe two alternative 1, 2, 3. For example, if I want a capital, so for that capital, there are the different modes of acquiring or starting any sort of business. Maybe the capital could be acquired by issuing the shares. Through issue of shares, we can gather the capital to start a organization. It is one of the alternatives. Or through debt, means getting the loans from the banks or the other organization. It is also one of the alternatives to gather the money in order to start the business. Maybe we can say another alternatives like retained earnings means savings, retained earnings means the savings of an organization. So what the money or what we saved in our bank or any other. So when I want to start any sort of business and want to gather the capital, so there are the different alternatives as the resource is the capital and we want to start in a business and that money to be gathered in a different alternatives. When one I should choose, which one I should choose means by analyzing these three alternatives, so which was getting a cheapest way means through shades we can gather the public money and start the business, maybe by asking the loans or borrowings from the banks and the financial institutions we can gather the capital through debt. And third one is the savings, which we'll call as retained earnings means already some of the money which we saved in the organization or person we can utilize for the business. So we have to see that the utilization or the scarce resources whatever we have to be put into the different alternatives. So what is which one I should choose? So accepting the best return means which is where we can get a cheapest money or the rate of return or the interest what we has to pay upon these three alternatives has to be very less. So which gives us a less interest, that alternatives I has to be choose. Then how do I behave in satisfying my unlimited resources with the scarce resources? So as organization or individual want to satisfy their unlimited wants only with scarce resources means we should choose. The choosing pattern is more important which involves in decision making. So this is the thing which we are has to enumerate in the managerial economics that we want to take the decision. So how these taking of the decision gives an effective utilization of the resources and our wants to be satisfied, and at the same way the resources are put to the maximum utilization. So this way we has to utilize these economics concepts into the managerial economics and gains the importance. So the above is the introduction relating to the traditional economics and what are the concepts which we have been derived from the traditional economics and transformed into the managerial economics which helps in the decision making economics. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.